a news update, my brother Tunto Spoon. You want to know what is happening, more of your Tunto Spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just Tunto Spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, Tunto Spoon. Tunto Spoon. Tunto Spoon. You from Funjema, Maryland, Tunto Spoon. Tunto Spoon. If you eat Cape Graduate, my brother Tunto Spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, Tunto Spoon. Tunto Spoon. You wanna get a news update, Tunto Spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today? Spoon TV. Spoon. Yes, what you got today? Spoon TV, Spoon Spoon TV, Spoon Entertainment.
It's not a loan company. We are in a facilitative role, bringing partners together to help them.
Yes, sir.
We have no responsibility to pay 80,000 for you. We have gone to speak to loan companies to allocate a certain amount of money, which is 25 million, for 250 Nigerians, which is 100 up to 100,000 per head. It doesn't mean that you will use it. Maybe you decide to go to one of the schools, it's maybe 20,000 is the course. All the courses are different. Like a school like Harvard, which is not on our list. If you don't have $100,000, you can't even think about housing. For the schools, they are very expensive, housing is expensive. So we have chosen schools that are like midway for you. So what you need to do is look at the partial scholarship that's available, do the application, and then you speak to Madam Rosemary, and then they do a pre-approval of loan for you. You fill the credentials like this person here got 65,000, right? Loan approval.
You want to know what is happening, more of your Tunto Spoon.
This big movement for their prosperity, and that's why we're here.
Okay, so this entire initiative, what's
Yes, so just quickly, Madam, I heard the students talking about especially concerning how to do a bank statement, and I also listened to them talking about $236 for maybe a registration. Can you clarify all of these things, especially bank statement and the $236?
So I want to say categorically the $236 is a readiness fee that has been waived for all of Liberia.
Okay.
In other countries, people do pay, which is a service that we provide to teach the students how to do their CV,
okay,
how to do cover letters, how to have a 5-year economic development plan. I'm sure that none of you here has a 5-year economic development plan. But these are important things that we teach them. We also teach them how to do a statement of purpose. so that they have a clear understanding. We don't want people to just leave Africa and land in America and not know what they're doing. So we also teach them how to practice for the Duolingo English test. Duolingo instead of IELTS. IELTS alone costs $300. But we have brought it's not one of our schools.
I'm just like ask this question now. It is a school that Nikot is partnering with. Can Nikot help me in the process to provide this bank statement?
We can only help you. I need you to understand it very clearly. We only help with loan letters like this. You apply to our loan company. They will tell you, okay, we can give you 40,000. You add that to your document, and that's what you take. You understand? But we are not going to give you somebody's bank statement. You take them back. We don't do that.
Number. So all the engagement the president has been doing, coming abroad, something that some people criticize, we have engaged earlier this group called Nikot. And Nikot invests heavily in helping countries to train people in the STEM program. STEM means science, engineering, technology, and math. Right? You want to train people in those areas. So what were they able to do?
So it's a science, technology, engineering, and math, right? Okay.
Yeah, all right. So what were they able to do? They formed a 25 million non-collateral loan. What is the loan going to do? Recruit students, they come into America, train them in the different disciplines under the STEM program. It's 2 years to get a master's degree. After the 2 years, what the program requires is that those students will stay in America and enroll in a practical program that will allow them to work for 3 years. Meaning the whole process is a 5-year process. 2 years in the classroom, you give you your degree in engineering, in something that has to do with technology, in something that has to do with mathematics, and then after the 3 additional years of working in the US, the goal is you must return. And the Americans are laying emphasis on that we got to ensure that when the people have their capacity built in this way, they will go back home. So the first set of the people to benefit will be 250 Liberians. When they send them, the school fee is paid. Their living expense, as they call it, what the school in America for that 2 years is paid for. And then as they get enrolled in the job aspect of it, they will make between 60 to 100,000 per annum. At that point, it is assumed you should be able to take care of yourself. You will not be getting additional payments. But in the end, we've trained these numbers of people in the STEM area. That's what was launched today.
Is a work study program for its value at $25 million. It's a loan of $25 million, a grant of $625,000. That will be for 250 Liberian students aged 25 to 40 to go for a master's in the United States. It's a work study program. This program will allow for 1 year, maximum 2 of a program for a master's, and then a work element of 3 years. The loan component is for the students themselves. The loan will go towards the tuition, and a part of it for their upkeep, which will be given directly to them. The $625,000 grant will not be coming to us. It will be what the partners are using to provide the major services to the 250 awardees. That is their onboarding, their training, financial literacy, and others, because they will have to have bank accounts in the U.S. where the component of their loan that goes to their upkeep will be put into their bank accounts. This is a huge step for us as a country, and if all goes well with this first 250, we will be able to get another 250 for the September term. This will be, we're targeting the January term. It's very ambitious, but we believe we can do it.
Anybody who's coming here who's a staffer should be identified. You don't know the staffer? No, these are the people that identify people. You can't say it's not staffer. Don't make us stop.
I was very disrespected here on Tuesday. So a lot of them here. That's why I'm working on one since Africa. I'm the chairman in this building here, chairman of the executive. I was standing outside with the ID card. And I came here and said, I was staying here 1 hour. Let them come in. Once they have the ID card, to identify themselves. Give a command to these guys. Don't block this place information. Being disrespectful.
Mr. Speaker, I was also denied by the police to stop my car from entering in this place.
So we need your action to leave this place. I mean,
so no any problem.
We assign before we close the day.
Yeah, please reassign him.
Whoever that's going to be in charge here. You don't know who are the
staff here are the people who are here to identify employees or non-employees. The police is only here if they know. Hold on, let me talk. The police is only here if the staff say you can't come in and they decide to be rowdy. The police put them outside. But the police, as long as the staff say the person pass, that policeman will come and say the person can inside.
I don't know what
so these are the people I know that since he doesn't understand command and understand English, please bring somebody who can better carry on your assignment. Otherwise, we'll ask the police.
The legislature, it is, and we have to do it.
On grounds, the chair of the renovation of the building
I know that no session out there, nobody going to hire any program here today. Nothing will happen here today.
Why are you insisting so?
Because this building is not a normal. We are a normal. This building is in legislative wall.
We'll just do a session today.
So those lawmakers from the end of the speaker block are now moving through the drum chambers, saying that those so keep following this. Keep following. The speaker block now moving in the drum chambers, saying that let go. So we are marching to the drum chambers.
We are agents of the government.
They are using pepper spray, they are using tear gas in the joint chamber. They are breaking the place. They are hearing the group of men. Pepper spray is being used. So while session is going on, you have a group of men making their way to intrude into this session, but these are security officers.
Politicians want to make their decision just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry to spoon.
Okay, Tune to Spoon, you want to know what's happening in the ministries, in the agencies, Tune to Spoon. And this is where you get the news. This is where we bring you up to speed with the happenings across the country every single day. I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's edition of the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. We are live across the Spoon network tonight. The Spoon FM 107.5. We're live on Fabric Radio 101.1 and a host of other radio stations across the country. Thanks to all of our folks online for joining us tonight as well. My name is Nelson Collet. As always, the late night show is where we get to talk about Liberia. We bring you the updates, bring to you some analysis around those issues, and afford you the opportunity to have your say on those different issues of national concern. So, thanks for joining us again tonight. For our online audience, we will appreciate if you were to share the program in your different group chats on your Facebook timelines, in your WhatsApp groups. Let's hope we can have, just so we have a great conversation tonight. And I also want to say thanks to our folks in Radio Land who will most times stay up very late just to follow the show, to get the information, to follow closely the happenings across the country. We appreciate you for being here with us tonight as well. Yes, a lot to talk about. So many things happening across the country. And of recent, a lot of you have followed the happening with Nikot. It's something that's taking over the country today. Conversation has been going on for some days. Nikot had a town hall engagement today, which was quite a great one, and a lot was being disclosed, a lot was being said, and Liberians, are concerned. Following everything that happened today with respect to the town hall, the deputy minister there at assistant minister at the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism, Matthew Yemplu, took onto his social media handle to call on Liberians to avoid investing a dime into this program. Initially, it was presented as a scholarship program for Liberians, young people who have obtained their undergraduate degrees and or is equivalent, that has some interest in going out there to study. There is going to be a scholarship program for them to provide them the opportunity to be able to to advance themselves, so that they'll come back and contribute to the the nation building process. And so this is something that has been around the table, it's been in the corridors for some days now. And since the foreign minister broke the news at the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism MICAT press conference, it became a major concern, with some appreciating the government for the move, while others were being a bit skeptical about the whole Nikot thing. And so Liberians are still moving ahead, and a lot is still being discussed about this. Well, Nikot has come in to clarify that it's not a scholarship, it's not a loan, but they're more like it's more like the government of Liberia introducing, connecting those young Liberians to Nikot, and Nikot on the other end will be assisting them as they go through the process of applying for, admission, they're getting the loans or grant, loans, not even grant, but loans to attend those different institutions across the country. And so, who's saying the truth? At what point? Why is the information dissemination around Nikot changing every step along the way? $236 initially was the amount that folks were asked to pay, and I managed to have spoken with some of the folks today during that coverage, some of the applicants who said to pay the money. But immediately when they started to raise some concerns, Nikot said for those about 7 persons who already paid, they're going to refund the money. And for those who are yet to pay, they're canceling it. They're not. They will no longer be taking the $236. But on the other hand, the services they were to provide, because they said that they were going to provide air ticket as part of the services for the 236. So that will be canceled, since in fact they're not taking the money anymore. And there's a whole lot around this. On the other side, on the other hand, this long this ongoing discussion with respect to the happenings at the legislature is still ongoing. Even at the weekend, most of you are aware that the ECOWAS delegation to Liberia is still here. The folks have been meeting this evening, late this evening at the Boulevard, one of our hotels, at one of our popular venues in the country. ECOWAS met this evening up to the early morning hours, up to 12 a.m., with folks, lawmakers from both sides, both the speaker's block and that of the majority block. ECOWAS managed to have met with them. The outcome of that meeting is yet to be disclosed, is yet to be made known. But what I'm going to connect with our guy who was on the scene, our reporter Haji Masale, who was on the scene, and he will bring us up to speed with everything that transpired. But what we can say at the moment is that initially it was expected that there would have been some media engagement or more like a press conference after the ECOWAS delegation meeting with the folks from the both sides, majority block, speakers block, and all of that. But it didn't happen as planned. What were the reasons leading to that? He would tell us about the atmosphere after the meeting. What did he see? Where the lawmakers from the both parties, from the both sides, shaking hands? Was there any sign of a reconciliatory, achievement or reconciliatory posture from the both parties? What was the atmosphere like? And a lot more. We're going to talk to him about that here tonight. And a lot more happening across the country. Yes, we did have our reporter, Sylvester Chulupe, at the Center Street this evening. The place is as filthy as it was several months or over a year or several years ago. It remains a very filthy destination in the height of Monrovia. Yes, a lot to talk about tonight. So welcome to the Late Night Show. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nelson Colette. I see our co-moderator Moba Zokia is fixing his camera. I don't know what's happening with this guy's camera. Moba is always joining from different locations, changing his background. He will put his camera on before
Out of my house.
His gadget on charge.
Out of my house, bro. Don't put me into the version out of my house.
And you to your heart, but we can't hear your children talking, we can't hear your woman talking, but you to your house. But that's okay. Anything you say, that's it. Don't be the George Widow who sometimes will say you to your house, but when you look somebody coming from the back to clean, you say that a hotel attendant.
I know, right? My home, man.
Yeah, man, but it's good to have you guys on. Let me bring Josh on. Josh, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on. Anthony as well. You guys are muted. Josh, welcome to
for having me.
Thank you, Nelson. And I like the topic you're touching tonight. That whatever project they want to launch for students, I'm thinking that's.
Anthony, man. They got. Oh, God.
Anthony is right.
Jump the gun.
Yeah, there's a whole lot happening across the country. It's just fair that
Anthony.
We got to talk about those different.
You're left racist business. You don't even like to, talk about things that matter to people.
But the first thing is, Anthony, I would appreciate if you would wipe your guys. Let's meet it.
That's true. Let me wipe my camera. That's true. I see it myself.
It's kind of blurry.
Yeah, I need to wipe my own small.
Boba, you gotta slow down. What's going on, Boba? Do you
No,
have?
I got to web my
Is it much better now?
Yeah,
it's better. Yeah, I can see myself.
Yeah. So, but it's a good thing. We're here tonight, and let's move into the conversation. At some point, right after your opening, we are going to connect with Haji Masale, our reporter, to give us update from some of the happenings, some of what he saw at the ECOWAS meeting with the folks from the both sides. Today we'll speak with him briefly, and then we start the rest of the conversation from there. But let's do our opening. We're gonna start with you, Mobad, and then Josh, and then Anthony. So let's do the opening in 1 minute 30 seconds, 1.5 minutes. Go ahead.
Thank
Mobad.
you, Nelson, and thank you to my fellow panelists, and also thank you to our listeners. My attention, actually, look, I know that whole education stuff, loan stuff. I know we'll come across it, but I'm not really talking about it. I'm talking about a guy who was killed. I think 2 or 3 days ago, he got missing, and later on they found him. I think they found his body. He was deceased. So I think the Liberia National Police, and if we get some,
when you said the guy who was killed, I mean there could be so
allegedly,
many.
like the
Guinean
allegedly.
the Supreme Court looking for.
I think he was missing.
No, Mobad, let's do this. That's why you have.
That's why I said allegedly, bro.
No, it's not about allegedly. Who was killed? For the sake of our audience, there are a lot of people.
Actually, I just forget his name. I'll put his name up. I'll going through the stuff. I'll put it up. He was missing 2 days ago, and they found his body today.
Who?
Family, flare up, and
was it the guy that was in the police custody or something?
No. It's not in police custody. It's a Liberian citizen. He live in Liberia. I think you're living around Fiamma area, right? I'll get a hold of you. I'll send the information. But let me just conclude on this. I think the Liberia National Police can launch an investigation, and also the body should go for autopsy to see what wrong or other stuff. But like our citizen can be killed, like that. Whether like in the night or in the day, and the police got to carry on investigation actually, yeah. But next time I was saying the duty, I was looking at and the guy himself, the picture.
Yeah. So thank you, Moba. I think for the sake of our audience, most times
I was saying to
highlight these issues. We should be a little more detailed. Who, where did it happen? When did it happen? Maybe you came across it on the social media. Just a little. Yeah, so that so as to not create more doubts than the information dissemination that we're here to.
You're right.
Just the analysis, but go ahead, Josh. Let's hear your opinion quickly.
Thank you, Nelson. And Lord Nelson, thank you. No, you're doing a great job because a few years ago, people would just bring anything up and we discuss it, But now you want to be very careful with the news so that people don't panic. And people don't, it's good. Good journalism. Keep it up.
I know where you're going. But same thing, that whole CDC and Unity Party, kind of.
Yeah, cut me mail flat.
I know, right? So look, gentlemen, it's nice to be here. It's Saturday here in Australia. It's 11:32 a.m. And it's a really good time to be alive. So many times I would just pray. Chicken. They say chicken don't pray for long life. Don't pray for long fellow. Pray for long.
Not long life can pray for.
It can pray for long. Chicken can pray for long life. Once it is living, the fellow will grow. Right. Never in my lifetime I thought I would have lived to see what is happening in Liberia on this incompetent government. Look, you know what? This government has made CDC government to look like professional, the most glorious government. The errors they are making with all the 42 or 45 or 50 years of experience in government, the one they are doing, they make CDC government look like king and queen. I don't know how to describe it.
Is the CDC government actually king or queen? Did the CDC government do well? Does the CDC government have a very solid legacy? Did the CDC government do well, for which the Liberian people voted the government out.
Nelson,
She would use the mistake or the shortcomings of the Unity Party administration to want to
Nelson, this was my opening. This was my opening. Can you give me
government?
Can you give opportunity?
Josh, this thing is serious. If you have Josh and Anthony in the room, for example, Anthony was on the stage. Anthony went dance. The audience voted whether or not they wanted Anthony on the stage, and the people voted Anthony out. And then George came on the stage, and while George is on the stage, he carried on his own style. He's coming on with his own moves, and then because George is stripping off, then Anthony say, "Okay, so I'm on the stage. You say I'm not dancing correct, but look at the kind of dance George doing." What sort of legacy did Anthony leave? What did the CDC leave for the Liberian people? Maybe these are conversations we need to start having. But go ahead, Josh.
Nelson, the good example you have given that will prove something will be like if George and Anthony get on the stage together and start to dance, then it boo George out, right? That means Anthony can dance more than George. That is clear. But if George is dancing, and then they say, "Oh, we are not enjoying his dance," moving from there, we won't see Anthony. Anthony get there and he's completely crap. People will start to boo. That the same thing we're talking about here. So this is a dance at separate times. This government is ridiculously incompetent, and Liberians have to say it the way it is. They are doing nothing that will make the past government to look like crap. These guys are underperforming, and it is ridiculous to say that we are alive this time to see a government that is taking Liberia many years back. We are a laughing stock because scammers can even scam our entire government, not individuals. In this country, Australia, we lost, I don't know, $17 billion last year from scammers, right? But it was from individuals, not a government. But this one is a government-sponsored scam that is destroying our people. It is a shame this government is doing nothing. We need to say how it is. And look, we're here to discuss it. I'm very much disappointed from what I'm seeing in Liberia. And I know my brother Mobile will come and sit by me to cry as well because it is ridiculously wrong for what is happening to our country. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you very much for your input. Josh, your opening. Let's hear you, Anthony. Go ahead.
Thank you, Nelson. Good evening, my fellow panelists. Good evening to our followers, our listeners, and our audience here on the Facebook. Look, Nelson, it is so embarrassing for the Minister of Information and Cultural Affairs to come on the very Spoon Network to provide inaccurate information, mislead the Liberian people about this particular quote-unquote scholarship / loan program. First and foremost, the fact that it is the Minister of Information proper, and we are hearing what we're hearing about this. I watched snippet of what happened today about this situation when student was questioned, and no questioning then about the program and all of that. Yes, it is true. One of the students, the interview talked about, they paid the $236 and blah, 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 right? Nelson, this is a disgrace to our nation for top government official to go on the airway and provide misleading information. This Bwaka administration owed the Liberian people an apology, public apology, for misleading the people. Look, I know they're so excited to give news. They want to give news. They paraded the street with yellow machine. They talked about $209 million loan. They talked about, the $114 USAID grant, all the different things granted. But you know one thing? The people trusted you with executive power. And you are abusing the executive power. Not only that, we have a serious constitutional matters in the country. The executive mansion have already taken aside. And you misleading people with scholarship. If a loan should be taken for our students to leave our country to go outside, then some people in government not supposed to be in government because you must invest in your institution, the current institution that we have. Invest in it. That's what Japan did. They invested into that article institution, technology, infrastructure. And today, that country is doing well. Who's going to rebuild the University of Liberia? Who's going to build the Tottenham University? Who's going to build Cochiton? We have to invest in our own self. You can bring a PhD holder to Liberia to teach. You can bring 2 master's degree holders to Liberia to teach. That one PhD holder can impact 100, 200 people's lives compared to taking 250 students to whatever place they're going to take them. They're not going to come back. The embassy already told you 5,000 people will issue visa. Only 126 people return. 5,000 people getting visa in 2023. Only 126 return. You think that people are going to come here to get master's degree or other degree and return to Liberia? Toba did it. Totman did it. Doe did it. Tero did it. No, not Tero, but Ellen did it. Even we did it.
No, just go on Nimi. Just go on Nimi. But Anthony, thank you. Thanks a lot, Anthony. You know, let me say this. We have so many people who have gone to the US and other countries, gotten their masters, and they've come back to this country to serve. It may not be the average, you know, it may not be, you know, at that level we want it. But yes, there are so many Liberians who have left this country, gone to advance themselves. They've come back. One person is Vanilla Patrick, for example. You know, on the show, he attended Harvard, you know, got his degree.
The US government, not the Liberian government.
He came back to Liberia and he's here. You know,
it's the U.S. government, not the Liberian government.
His expertise, you know, but we're gonna move to that aspect, and that's a very important point you raised, Anthony. But we want to get our guy Haji Masale on. Let's talk a bit about the ECOWAS meeting with lawmakers today, and how did it go? Some of what maybe he saw. And just to get him to bring us up to speed with the happenings there today. Haji, welcome. You're live on the late night show. Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear. Good morning, Nelson, and your panelist.
Okay. It's good to have you tonight on the program, Haji. I want us to start up with an update from you regarding the ECOWAS meeting today. ECOWAS, we understand, had a meeting, the delegation had a meeting with lawmakers from both sides. How did it go? What exactly can you tell us about the activity today?
So nothing is all started on Tuesday when the ECOWAS delegation met the speaker Funati Profile block in session, though they did not have a quorum again. So they discussed lengthily, but that was behind closed door. And on Thursday, the ECOWAS delegation met with the majority bloc in their session. And the majority bloc suggested that the meeting be held in open session because the issue about the removal of Funati Kofa, the speaker, and the allegation listed and all of that, they are all in the public. So meeting for 3 lawmakers, it will be necessary that it's being done in the public. So the delegation speaker, insisted that they should do it in secret session.
Okay.
So they asked all the journalists, the visitors, to the joint chamber out. So what they discussed there, we do not know. But when we came back in session, we saw the presiding officer, the deputy speaker, Tomo Fala, constituting a committee to meet with the ECOWAS delegation. So that's what precipitated the meeting today or yesterday.
Okay.
that was held at the Boulevard Palace. So that meeting involved two sides of the conflict: the pro-fanatic Kofa bloc and the majority bloc.
Okay.
So when they
Just before going any further, how many persons from each of the sides, you know, attended this particular meeting with the ECOWAS today?
So judging from what the presiding officer in the majority bloc session constituted on Thursday, there was the chairman of the majority bloc, Samuel Kogan.
Okay.
The co-chair to the committee was Sekou Kanet from District 2, Musevado County, Marco Thomas, and host of all of lawmakers that they need, maybe constituting around 5 lawmakers.
Okay.
So I believe those from the Funati bloc also constituted 5, but those that I saw tonight at the meeting were Dixon Sibo, Ellen Ato Rare, and others lawmakers. I also saw Prince To from the majority bloc also in that meeting. So the meeting ended and they all, around 11 o'clock, they left in the Boulevard Palace. So there was a press conference that was scheduled, but we don't know what happened at the latter, end, and the press conference was cancelled.
Haji, what did you see? What did you notice, given the environment, and also considering the fact that there was a press conference that should have been held at the end of the meeting with the both sides, and which did not happen. Following the meeting, what did you see? The expression, on the faces of the lawmakers on both sides, the body language. How was it like? I know you did not get maybe in a statement or what have you, what the outcome of the meeting was, but you care to tell us what the atmosphere was after the meeting?
One thing I really pick up from that gathering was the togetherness, the interaction of the lawmakers from both sides.
Okay.
It just tells me that those supporters who don't understand legislative politics, who don't understand, what is happening, and there are some people who, sorry to say, do not know that left from their right, who just join into the conflict and just spill, whatever they want to say, forgetting to know that these lawmakers, they are comrades. They can interact, they can talk. Sometimes we see them talking as though there is nothing happening.
So what was the atmosphere friendly? Yeah.
The atmosphere very friendly. I saw Prince To in a close conversation with Dixon Sibo, as though they are from the same block, as though they are, sharing borders. These are people who, are very far apart, District 8 and District 15. So it just rings to my mind that, supporters should be, careful as to how they get into this conflict.
Okay, that's a great one. Any of you guys have a question for Haji just before we let him go?
Yeah. Before I ask my question, first of all, Haji, thank you for your brief summary of the matter. Like you rightly said, the lady actually asked for the section to be closed door because she said they are not there to legislate the process, but to make peace and find a common ground. And from her speaking, her accent, I could tell she's from Ivory Coast, because her French sounded Ivorian French. However, thank you for being up this late to participate on the show to provide clarity and also some latest information. But given what you saw tonight and at the last minute, did you see anything like progress being made from, you know, the discussion that they have had, and how's the outcome, you know, has been so far?
So if any progress is being made from this evening meeting, it means that we'll see some sign by the dawn, by the morning hours. But from the engagement from the pro-Fonati bloc and the majority bloc, we saw we saw Fonati Kofa, the speaker, withdrawing a petition from the Supreme Court, and some of the moves the majority bloc usually make, you know, they are not making those moves again, so they are slowing down. So I mean, everything is done, you know, professionally, so as to give some sort of respect to the mediation team, that, you know, just sort of respect they want to give that in the mediation team until, you know, everything can until the dust can be settled.
Another follow-up: were you able to, you know, chit chat with one of the lawmakers on the side to get that perspective of how the atmosphere was? Did you have any chance?
Already, we could not talk to the lawmakers coming from the meeting tonight because of, you know, security protocol, and because of our anticipation to, you know, meet the ECOWAS delegation to have the much anticipated press conference. So we were not able to, you know, engage with the lawmakers. But however, like I stated tonight, the body language, the interaction with that, you know, with police, you know, lawmakers, they are all sound or positive that this issue will be resolved in the soonest possible time.
Nelson, one last question. Did you hear any kind of information that ECWA will have a press conference tomorrow, or they will continue the engagement tomorrow? Is there any sign of that, or this was the final meeting?
I think the press conference tonight was part of effort to give their progress, you know, report on the mediation effort. It could not be the last or whatever, you know, that was, but I think it was just intended to give their progress report on the mediation effort. We will have listened to, you know, how far, you know, they have gone, who all they have engaged, you know, in the mediation, and what's the positives from the mediation effort. So we were not really able to, you know, listen to them, but probably by the weekend or Monday, we will hear from them.
Okay.
Thank you, man. Thank you for
that one question.
Okay, yeah, Moba, come here with your question.
Yeah, just one question. My brother, how you doing? This is Moba speaking.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, my question, it just any new schedule or the reschedule any meeting, probably for them to go back and have another meeting, or any reschedule anything like that.
So these are some of the questions we are supposed to ask the mediation team as to whether they, you know, have a second meeting with the two parties. But since we could not, you know, meet with them, you know, in a press briefing, but the guy who is coordinating, you know, the press activities was very sorry that the press conference was not held. I could, you know, sense that from his, you know, body expression, because I think there was a little misunderstanding, maybe misscheduling of, you know, the press activities there. But we really hope that by Monday or maybe this weekend, we will hear from the ECOWAS delegation to tell us, you know, how far they've gone with the mediation, or are they, you know, continuing the mediation efforts.
Yeah, my last question. Edo, I hear you saying that I think one party wanted to have the discussion clarity which is I think the majority black, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So so what was the response from the minority after the majority black said they wanted to have the open meeting, like everybody should be there, so they can the media and whosoever, so it can be open to the public. So what was the response from the minority group and ECOWAS?
No, it was not something like getting a response from the minority. The minority had their meeting with the ECOWAS delegation on Tuesday in the main chamber, the Chinese building. So that I don't know whether it was behind closed door because I was not in that meeting. I was at the majority black. Chokon was at the minority. So I don't want to believe that it was open because with the request from the ECOWAS delegation in the majority black session that they wanted to have a secret, a meeting with the majority that was tested on the floor, and overwhelmingly it was voted upon that the meeting should be open to the public. But the ECOWAS delegation insisted that it should be held behind closed door. So to give the benefit of the doubt to the delegation, they have to let the public out and they have the meeting.
All right.
Well,
Thank you. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Haji. George, you have a question for Haji?
Oh, look, not really. Actually, I think what I just want to ask, maybe I will ask is that, actually, from your own point of view, when does this end? When do you think this is going to end?
Well, from past experiences, we have never had the required number to remove a speaker. Judging from Eddie Snow time to Alex Stallone, what happened was to put pressure on the speaker for the speaker to resign. The pressure is that to have majority of the number, outside of the main chamber. If that happens, it means that the speaker will not have the quorum to conduct business. So it means that he's powerless. So once, in this case, this majority bloc has a sufficient number to conduct business, and you are seeing the executive, conducting business with the majority. The news lingering is that by Tuesday, the budget will be submitted to the majority. So where does Speaker Funati Kofa stand? I mean, he will be standing empty with no power, only the tattoo. So we don't know whether the delegation, the ECOWAS delegation, will just ask the speaker to simply resign, or to ask the majority to come into the main chamber. But mind you, if the majority just come into the main chamber, somebody from the Funati Kofa bloc will raise a motion stating that the quorum for that session will constitute and the quorum for sitting session. So even if the majority leave from that chamber, it means that Funati still has a quorum. So that is a sticky issue that the majority cannot set on Speaker Funati Kofa, fearing that they will create a quorum for Funati Kofa for the next 5 years.
Haji, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Haji. That was very great. Thank you.
Next thing I have a pushback for Haji. Just the last part he just said. Because we have audience and because we are on the radio, I need to get a clarity as to when he said the majority black can do business. I beg to differ with that assertion based on constitutional matters. So Article 33 clearly gives the rule that you can form a quorum. However, forming a quorum without the speaker, while the speaker is present, it is illegal. because the Constitution says you must elect your speaker, and the speaker shall be the presiding officer.
You know,
forming a quorum. Nelson, hold on. Forming a quorum.
Anthony,
no, hold on, Nelson. We are on the radio.
You want to take us back, you
no,
know?
No, I'm not taking you back.
Okay, so
Nelson, don't do this, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is your broadcast platform. Granted.
No. Anthony, you want us
to be on the radio, and these things are being put out the way it is.
Yeah, no, Anthony, you're gonna ask. You're gonna ask a question, but let me come in.
Let me to conduct business.
You're gonna ask
the speaker has yet to be removed from office.
Anthony,
I disagree with you.
Guys, let's do this. All right. Okay, so let's do this. Anthony, you're gonna ask your question, but we took Haji on the line for a while just to get an update from him. We're gonna make the rest of the analysis on the show. We're gonna disagree on the show. You know, Haji is here. The guy has been up very late, and we thought to just take him for a few minutes. So he gave us the update with respect to what the ECOWAS delegation meeting was, how did it go, the atmosphere, and all of that. Then we continue with the show. But if you want to start pushing back on the man, asking all the questions going to the constitutionality and all of that, you know, then it will be best to have Haji as a guest. But Haji, Anthony just conclude with that question. Let's have Haji to
question on
with the rest of the show. So Anthony, you want to end up your question?
Yeah, because Haji said the majority black can do business, and there's a possibility that the budget will be submitted to the majority black. Per our constitution, where the sitting speaker is still in the country and is present, no business can be done without the presence of the sitting speaker, regardless of
you disagree on the
I disagree with that assertion that they can do business. What they are having gallery, that's not section, and it is not plenary as well.
Thanks a lot for your disagreement, but Haji, we really appreciate you for coming on tonight and providing these pieces of information. It's good for the conversation tonight, and we want to give you the time now to do your closing. Anything you'd like to say in just in parting, and then we move on with the rest of the show.
Yeah, you are just smart enough to call the previous speaker to order, because we know we cannot be drawn into a debate. I'm just a reporter, and I was just giving a little analysis as to what is happening of Capitol Hill and some of those instances relating to the removal of a speaker. It may not be Fonati Kofa, but what happened during Elistalo time, during Speaker Edwin Murphy Snow. So these are just normal things, it happened before, and these are all precedents, cases we just narrated. So it was not something like those people went against the law or whatever. But whatever that is happening up Capitol Hill, we will continue to report it. As always, Spoon TV will be live there.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Haji. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for staying up to provide these updates for us. We appreciate you. And we're looking forward to the full press conference from ECOWAS. And hopefully we can be there as a team to provide a full coverage. But thanks a lot for being out there, to get the news. Yeah.
Thank you, Nelson.
Well, yes. That's Haji right there. Providing some pieces of information on what's happening with the ECOWAS and all of that at the meeting. The postponed press conference. But I want to welcome Vasco to the show. Chris, thanks for joining us. And let's hope we can move on with the rest of the show now with the limited time we have. Let's start the conversation from here. Since, in fact, it was about this whole ECOWAS thing, you listened to the information provided by Haji. Now, prior to the press conference today, we managed to have reached out to a few of the folks whose names we will not mention. And what we're getting is that ECOWAS have been suggesting to those folks to go, the majority bloc, to go under the gabble of the speaker and present their complaint, sit before him, raise their issues, and then they can kickstart the process from there. But the folks on the other end, the majority bloc, have disagreed with ECOWAS on that. They said to ECOWAS that, look, this process you're talking about, we are cognizant of our laws. We know what our processes are like. We know how it's like here at the biggest political theater of the country, the legislature. So going to the going to the regular chambers of the House of Representatives to sit under the gabble of Councilor Speaker J. Fonati Kofa is something that's not part of the option. So this is where the sticker issue is. And actually made a very important point. He struck a very important point when he spoke of the possibility of going to session, and once those majority black and everyone is in session, and then a motion could be raised for that quorum to be used for the preceding sections. So they could use that session, that particular session that will have a quorum, to create a quorum through a motion for the next 5 years. And so with that, whether the majority black now go back to joint chambers, they go back on any circumventory, Speaker Kofa will already have a quorum as per that motion for the next couple of years. Well, maybe the lawyers or maybe the veteran lawmakers and all of those people need to come to speak to that aspect as well. But these are some of the issues lingering that has got the entire thing to where it is now. Everyone is stuck. And you're right. But next week, in fact, this gone Thursday, the majority of black own engagement was great. And the next thing that is expected is that the finance minister is expected to appear next week, by Tuesday or so. The internal affairs minister is expected to appear before the very majority black the same Tuesday as well. And other members of the executive, other officials of the executive are expected to appear. So what this means is that the appearances of those three officials of the executive will not be the last. As if this thing continues to drag, we're going to see the executive doing business with the majority bloc, which will be debatable based on where one sits. You know, someone may say that it's legal, despite the caveat from the speaker. The majority black is still moving on, and ECOWAS is still trying to find a way around the situation. But let's take 1 minute, 1.5 minutes around this particular issue before getting to the Nikot situation, and then we close up the show from there. Let's start with you, Moba.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Look, I think the things we've been talking about ECOWAS and we were able to discuss with them, telling them that, oh, you guys got to go under the, and you got to do it the REFO way, you go by the procedure. I think from all education, if the majority bloc go and do the thing the right way, I think it will be better than just for the entire country to be split. Because my Nelson, we are discussing the Constitution. Whatever we doing here today, we're discussing the Constitution. Because if we not obey or bow by the Constitution, right? What happened to the next generation that are coming? They will say happened because what happened now happened before. So based on that math, that's why everybody now on the same math saying la theater chimo, la kind of chimo, all I want political chimo. It's not how it works. You go by the Constitution, you take you take the speaker out, and everybody will say yes. Yeah. The same thing we've been talking. That's what ECOWAS said. So nothing different. ECOWAS came to make the entire Africa be there.
Also, it's very key to know that ECOWAS is here to come up with an official statement.
Yeah,
right.
But for now, So, but for now, we all on the same link. But and obeying the constitution, go on the gavel of the speaker, discuss the issue, put on the floor, and then y'all want to impeach the speaker, y'all do what I want to do. But if the executive, let me conclude that if the executive keep doing business with the majority, I think they will be violating the law, the constitution. To be frank, because the speaker is in the country. He's not out of the country. God forbid, he's not there. He's still living. So by right, there is nothing they can do. And the majority. No, that the executive respect the speaker and let it go by the constitution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Josh, let's hear your take on this issue.
Yes, Nelson. Look, I think you guys know most of what I stand for is on my own conviction. And what I think about this whole issue is that the majority bloc has an advantage here. And I want my brother Anthony to listen to me keenly without any interruption. And I think here is why. They are not sitting with the speaker. The speaker is not in session. When the speaker is not in session, he can be the speaker, he can be the biggest speaker in the world. But once he's not in session, the deputy speaker can preside. So they are in a session where the deputy speaker is residing. Because he's not in the room, the deputy speaker presides and they can make decisions. I think that's how I see this. However, it is not the right thing there. It is wrong that they do not have the 49 and they are still trying to hold out to make sure that this speaker resigns. And I think it's improper. I think Liberia will need to start doing the thing the right way. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is wrong. I think our brother here usually say that. And the second thing I want to say is that if we Liberians want to develop, we first have to develop our mental capability. We should try to develop our thinking ability. Not just big buildings can make our country develop. The people in the country, their mindset must be developed. They must be able to think for themselves. They do not allow people to be talking for them. And that's the issue. Because the same thing I was saying, Senator I wrote. Senator went to court, government run away. This is the issue that we need to always not just listen to people. Not just listen to people. Use your own inclination. Think about things. Now we see Liberia now is in trouble. President Bouaga does not know what he's doing. The country is running on autopilot because he does not understand what he's doing. He was always hiding in someone's shadow throughout his entire political career. Somebody will always in front that used to hide behind. And this time, there's nowhere to hide for him now. He's there. Anything this man has held onto broke apart. The UP broke apart when he became the Senate bearer. He left and then he went to CPP. It broke apart when he was there. Now he want to break Liberia. Now you see, the legislature cannot function anymore. Everything is breaking apart. Bouaga is responsible.
Who's breaking apart? You know.
This is here. Everything President Bouaga has been part of.
You want to go into the details of all of those break aparts you're talking about? You want to go into the details?
It does not matter.
The details of the break apart.
The thing where people say anywhere Baron goes, problem can come there. It's the same thing that happened here. Anywhere Bouaga goes, things fall apart. And exactly what's happening. The UP, as soon as they fire Ellen. They started breaking apart. They broke apart.
No. Okay. Let's start from there. Let's start from there. You want to spread our conversation a bit, but George, how long was President Bouaga in the Unity Party? When did the Unity Party and former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf start to fall apart?
No, Nelson. The thing is simple.
Everywhere things start to fall apart, then the details of that particular statement is something that will leave a lot of people in limbo.
Nelson, let me state it clearly.
Unless it's for the sake of just backing a point, just selling a premise or a point you want to make.
Nelson, no, that's not the case here. Let me say it plainly, maybe in plain English. When President Bouaga was part of the UP, he was not an original UP person. But once Ellen picked him, he came to the UP. He was under her shadow. She was the leader, Nelson. He was there, but she was the leader until she left. Once she was defeated, he took over. and he went to elections. That's when his leadership came into effect. Once his leadership was in effect, the party broke apart. They start firing chairmen, they start doing all sorts of things. They took them from party headquarters, all sorts of things started happening. Then he ran away from there, he went to CPP. As soon as he got to CPP, it's time for him to gain leadership, everything for that again. Nelson, how can we say this man does not know how to lead, Nelson? This man does not have the charisma. He doesn't know the decisions.
Thanks a lot, Josh. Maybe Anthony will answer the question because Mr. Cummings was accused of fingering some documents that led to this whole issue. And Chris is laughing. The two ANC guys are laughing, but this whole fire party, maybe Mr. Cummings will have his own share and all of that. But that's just the other side of it. But let's hear from you, Anthony. Your take.
And then when I try to go after Bwaka, you interrupt. But when I come in,
exactly.
Because the boss loves JMB, so he doesn't want me to be here to go after JMB.
Come on, listen, Anthony.
My man, my point. I'm not here to tracking.
My man.
I want to distract your train of thought.
No, you're not distracted. I'm too focused.
You know that we all here.
Listen,
you know that before you distract me. I'm coming. You know that we are open to all views here.
No, that's not true. You don't cover Mr. Cummings. The Spoon Network don't cover Cummings. Like, I forget about that.
The Spoon
Network does not cover.
That's in the term.
No, that's not. You're getting ready to the media.
First of all,
the media. Y'all miss Spoon your enemy.
It's the media
thing.
You don't have to invite you. Once he having press conference, he is the news.
My man, y'all miss Spoon your enemy from day one.
No, we did not make your enemy. They're afraid that we're going to have the momentum. So
guys.
But my time to speak.
But let's have the conversation moderated. It's not a free
but mobile interrupting now.
Yeah, so that's why I already brought mobile to check. But this is the point. Forget about that. Who cover who and all that kind of stuff. Then we do our best to bring the events across the country. All right, and that's why it is. And we can at any point in time please everybody. We can
not please everybody, but the top news breaker or the newsmaker, you go after them. Come here, it's a top name in Liberia.
It depends. Anthony, I know you want to make the case for Mr. Cummings, but
I always make the case.
You're spoiling the thing. Now I brought the whole situation from 7 to 1%. But go ahead.
No problem. We are proud to be the 1%, and that's the reason why we follow the Constitution. You guys won the election. You can follow Constitution. You can declare your asset. We hear over 900 people in this government have yet to declare their asset. But here's the thing. As a reporter, you present the news. You don't put yourself in the news.
Okay.
You get the news as it is. You are not the mouthpiece of the person.
So let's go back to the delegation thing. Let's go back. No, that's the sense of our discussion right now.
Listen. That my 2 minutes. I chose to use my 2 minutes the way I want.
You have 1 minute 30 seconds. You've already used 30 seconds.
Okay, then don't interrupt me, please.
No, we have to. No, we have to.
Don't interrupt me, Nelson.
Anthony, we have to engage. This is not a free.
Yeah, we'll engage, but you're taking my time.
Okay, go ahead.
If you have a follow-up question, you follow up. That's the procedure.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
When you're presenting the news, as a journalist, you remain neutral, like a police officer taking an account of what transpired. The policeman can insert himself into the report, just like news reporters cannot insert themselves into the news. The reporters should have said that some on the majority black are saying they will continue doing this because they feel as though it's their right. You can't say, oh, the majority black will just do business with the executive. No, that's putting yourself in the news.
So you think Haji put himself in the news?
Yes.
But why do you want to go after Haji?
Put himself in the news. That's why I held him accountable.
Why not make analysis on the issue at hand instead of
no? Because Nelson, again, as a reporter, you can't put yourself in the news. You only say what you heard per what the people say. You are not the news. You're not making the news. You are only relaying to what you heard. And let us, the listener and the follower, be our own judge. That's it. So Here is the thing. Every reporter and journalist are under obligation to uphold, defend, and protect the Constitution of Liberia. As a journalist who carry a license, as a journalist in Liberia, you are under obligation to uphold, defend, and protect the Constitution of Liberia. So, by you saying as a journalist that, oh, some people are interpreting the law this way, and some people, you must state your position of the law as a journalist. You are under obligation. You took an oath. That is a serious role. That's why you are called the fourth estate.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your input, Anthony. We're gonna move to Vasco next, but just before moving to Vasco, the whole media thing is a tough one to a point where media practitioners will always be criticized. But this is the thing. It goes beyond information dissemination. It goes as far as helping the society make the right decision. It goes as far as enlightening the minds of the population. It goes as far as saying the truth, what it is, nothing less than the truth. Now, even the newspapers have editorials. Editorials are opinions based on facts, pieces of evidence gathered from here based on facts. Newspapers do have editorials. Those editorials are the positions of the news outlets, the news entities, that newspaper, their position, what they think about what's happening at the time. That's editorial. The radio, the broadcast journalists do make analysis. I can sit, for example, here and make analysis on different issues based on the facts from different sides and make analysis. That's my opinion.
That's
so
different.
Being a journalist doesn't mean that you
were giving a summary of what he covered.
But anyway, guys, we have to make progress. Vasco, let's hear your take on this issue. You listen to Haji. Go ahead.
Thank you, Nelson. Like, I'm tired with this whole Capitol Hill issue, because this thing is just simple, Nelson. Get the 49, take your people to the regular chambers, and get a speaker off. Other than that, we have the law. The Supreme Court is there. It is phonetic over. I don't know what he's doing. As I learned, he already went to the Supreme Court already. He got a case just, I don't know, yesterday, the day before yesterday.
But you just listened to the report that was withdrawn, right? Based on the intervention from ECOWAS and all of that, they've decided to withdraw.
So if this government that we know, the executive branch that we know, that don't respect the rule of law, that have been breaking the rules of the country from day one since they came to power, if they turn around and start to do business with the majority, I mean, we got the Supreme Court there. For I think we're not setting for him because they're going or they're doing business with the majority black. He will go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court come up with something that will put it in check. So the best thing they can do, get the numbers, go sit there. That thing they're doing during that meeting, the speaker going to work. The speaker can be in the Capitol building, in the place you're supposed to have your regular session. Then your job from there go sit on the other side. Because you can't get the number to get the speaker off.
On the show one day, please.
And I mean, that's it. But I mean, let's see, I'm on this show tonight because I'm a veteran of Wakai and administration. I'm one of those that spend my money in the negotiate something. So I'm here to discuss it. I'm a veteran of President Wakai and his administration.
That's the conversation we're moving to now.
Because Nancy don't want to go deep in the conversation. Nancy finish our town. I think we get terrible meaning.
No, but this is important, right?
Vasco, I mean, you 10 seconds your time. Something I really want to say.
Vasco is done. Let's take Chris quickly.
Yeah, because they don't have the money now. Chris, can you borrow me 10 seconds, please?
Okay, take it. Let's see. They answer the news 20 minutes of my time.
seconds.
You don't even have up.
Thank you.
The
So
whole
here's the
show.
thing, right? The majority block will not get the 49 number. And if they go to section and they don't have the 49 per their own rule and the constitution, the case is null and void. And the motion will be raised and the speaker remain office for the next 5 years. So because they know they do not have the 49, they are trying to buy time and try to play game. They know the SAR on the Fonati SAR solid, their SAR solid. The number deadlock. They can't get one more vote. And that's why they play in this politics. And when they show up to session and that quorum is from the speaker preside, that's the end.
Thank you. Grace, just take 10 seconds quickly.
Okay, thank you. Let's there are a few things I just want to provide. Like our brother George said, session. George, those guys that are in session, the majority black, where they are now is not session. And our constitution is not session. We don't refer to our session. And Equa, those guys already know that they're forthcoming right now. In the sense that they want to return back the session, but they feel insecure right now. That's the point right now. They feel insecure right now with the speaker. In the sense that some of them who their own committee, they're thinking that when they return back the session, the speaker may likely remove them from committee. One. Two, the next thing they're thinking on is that they will not be highly respected no in the society. So the next thing they're waiting on is let's keep dragging the process. Let the Supreme Court interpret the law, because no for nothing will go back to the Supreme Court. If the ECOA comes out with a prayer release tomorrow, if the majority blood on ECOA decision, for nothing will return back to the Supreme Court. Now the Supreme Court are going to compare those guys to retain the session, because Supreme Court will not tell them what they're doing is legal. No. Why do that? So now the executive need to be careful to allow minister to appear before the majority bloc. That clearly shows that the executive is interfering in the process. Those advisors around President Bwaka have to advise him that the executive stay away from this process, because Lamin Probe is saying that he's not part of the process from the beginning of the debate. Today, the entire affair minister appearing, the next thing is a gossip Gafuan, who is a very close son to Bwaka, to appear before this majority black. That shows that President Bwaka is supporting majority black. The next thing is President Bwaka has to be careful not submit budget to the majority black, because it's really illegal. That means he's not respecting the constitution of Liberia. He's not going by the constitution. So in this case, I will advise President Bwaka, deal with the majority black, say, gentlemen, this thing is making a government to be low. Y'all still want to fight the thing back to session? Why you start lobbying for the banner numbers? It's simple. But in this case, I'm not saying for nothing buying out to the people. It will not happen. And data said now they know, they are realize that there are mistakes in the process. There are mistakes made in the process. But to retain part of the session, the fee is a queue. That's the issue right now.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Can I get maybe 30 seconds, please?
Chris Schraxton points here that maybe we're going to look at in the coming days, because we don't have the luxury of time. Because the guys have said that they're on this journey, they're embarking on this. They came up with 6 counts, reasons why they want the speaker to be removed. But if you are saying that they are holding on now because they don't want to feel disrespected, they don't want to go back to session, so they can be removed from those different committees, that's something to look at. But Again, thanks a lot, Chris. George, you wanted let's say 30 seconds. Just do that quickly. Let's transition to the next.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, look, I am this whole case is a really a tough one. But what I do know, the Constitution does not tell us exactly whether it should only be in the Capitol building that session can be held. No, the Constitution does not tell us that. The Constitution knows that if something happened when our house burned, it would take days or months or weeks to build it. So legislature cannot go home for that one month or 3 months or 6 months before they finish building it. So the Constitution say where they gather, where the majority gather, that's what it is. What the problem is that they want to remove. So if they want to remove someone, they must have the number. I think the debate should be around the number. But if you say that removal of to do business, I think they can do business. They can do business because they are in majority. The only problem we will have is that they could be challenged to say the speaker is available. Why is he not presiding? You get me? And that is another thing to talk about. But you cannot tell me that they are illegal. They are not illegal. They are lawmakers. They are sitting down gathering in the Willie Big of the Capitol. Let's say the Capitol. So I don't see anything wrong with that. But what I do know that they should do is that you come back to session and present their case, get the number. If they don't have the number, we don't want to get any noise from them. If they cannot get a number, we don't want any noise from them. Let's continue with Liberia business because I think the Liberian people are suffering now.
Thanks a lot. Now let's go to the Nikotech thing a bit. The pronouncement was made concerning some scholarship for 250 Liberians. I want to play the videos one after another, and then we just move into the analysis because we're out of time. But the government made the analysis through the foreign minister, and the information minister came to buttress. And then following that, we saw that Nikotech came to the country. They came to have a town hall engagement, which they did today. And some of what they said during the town hall engagement ran contrary to the very issues or the very comments, the information disseminated by the government initially. Now, why this is happening, one of the assistant ministers at the Ministry of Information, Matthew Yemplu, took onto his social media handle to ask Liberians not to invest a dime into this process because it's a scam. Now let's kickstart this whole thing with what the foreign minister said. This is the foreign minister right here. Let's bring this one.
A work study program for its value at $25 million. It's a loan of $25 million, a grant of $625,000. That will be for 250 Liberian students aged 25 to 40 to go for a master's in the United States. It's a work study program. This program will allow for 1 year, maximum 2 of a program for a master's, and then a work element of 3 years. The loan component is for the students themselves. The loan will go towards the tuition, and a part of it for their upkeep, which will be given directly to them. The $625,000 grant will not be coming to us. It will be what the partners are using to provide the major services to the 250 awardees. That is their onboarding, their training, financial literacy, and others, because they will have to have bank accounts in the U.S. where the component of their loan that goes to their upkeep will be put into their bank accounts. This is a huge step for us as a country. And if all goes well with this first 250, we will be able to get another 250 for the September term. This will be...
Okay, so that's the foreign minister. What did the information minister say about it?
So all the engagement the president has been doing, coming abroad, something that some people criticize, we have engaged earlier this group called Nikotech. And Nikotech invests heavily in helping countries to train people in the STEM programs. STEM means science, engineering, technology, and math, right? you want to train people in those areas. So what were they able to do?
So it's a science, technology, engineering, and math, right? Okay.
Yeah, correct. So what were they able to do? They formed a 25 million non-collateral loan. What is the loan going to do? Recruit students, they come into America, train them in the different disciplines under the STEM program. It's 2 years to get a master's degree. After the 2 years, what the program requires is that those students will stay in America and enroll in a practical program that will allow them to work for 3 years, meaning the whole process is a 5-year process. 2 years in the classroom, they give you a degree in engineering, in something that has to do with technology, in something that has to do with mathematics, and then after the 3 additional years of working in the US, the goal is you must return. When the Americans are laying emphasis on that we got to ensure that when the people have their capacity built in this way, they will go back home. So the first set of the people to benefit will be 250 Liberians. When they send them, the school fee is paid. Their living expense, as they call it, what the school in America for that 2 years is paid for. And then as they get enrolled in the job aspect of it, they will make between 60 to 100,000 per annum. At that point, it is assumed you should be able to take care of yourself. You will not be getting additional payments. But in the end, we've trained these numbers of people in the STEM area. That's what was launched.
Okay, so that's the information minister there with his part of it. But let's hear what the Nikot a representative. She's a co-founder of Nikot. Let's hear what she has to say.
One of our schools.
I'm just going to ask this question now. It is a school that Nikot is partnering with. Can Nikot help me in the process to provide this bank statement?
We can't help you with banking. We can only help you. I need you to understand it very clearly. We only help loan letter like this. You apply to our loan company. They will tell you, okay, we can give you 40,000. You add that to your document, and that's what you take. You understand? But we are not going to give you somebody's bank statement. You take them back. We don't do that. It's not a loan company. We are in a facilitative role, bringing partners together to help the youth of Africa. We have no responsibility to pay 80,000 for you. We have gone to speak to loan companies to allocate a certain amount of money, which is 25 million, for 250 Liberians, which is up to 100,000 per head. It doesn't mean that you will use it. Maybe you decide to go to one of the schools, it's maybe 20,000 is the course. All the courses are different. Like a school like Harvard, which is not on our list. If you don't have $100,000, you can't even think about Harvard. For the schools, they are very expensive, housing is expensive. So we have chosen schools that are like midway for you. So what you need to do is look at the partial scholarship that's available, do the application, and then you speak to Madam Rosemary, and then they do a pre-approval of loan for you. You fill the credentials like this person here got 65,000, right? This big movement for their prosperity, and that's why we're here.
Okay, so this entire initiative, what's
Yes, so just quickly, Madam, I heard the students talking about especially concerning how to do a bank statement, and I also listened to them talking about $236 for maybe a registration. Can you clarify all of these things, especially bank statement and the $236?
So I want to say categorically, the $236 is a readiness fee that has been waived for all of Liberia.
Okay.
In other countries, people do pay, which is a service that we provide to teach the students how to do their CV, how to do cover letters, how to have a 5-year economic development plan. I'm sure that none of you here has a 5-year economic development plan. But these are important things that we teach them. We also teach them how to do a statement of purpose. so that they have a clear understanding. We don't want people to just leave Africa and land in America and not know what they're doing. So we also teach.
So there you have it. The different sides, the different angles, from the minister to the information minister, of course, to Nikot. Let's take 1 minute across the table on this, and then we'll be done. Let's start with you, Moba. Josh will be next, Vasco, and then Chris.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Look, I think I'll not get much the Nikot stuff, but the whole secret end up being out. We all understand what's going on a whole scam scholarship, BA how they call it, but end of the day, I think the entire information is out there, like how it been, like what's going on, but I just feel sorry for the president because people just take anything and give it to him. He go through it, on the media and other stuff. But I think all those people need to do their due diligence before giving anything, make our own background investigation. I think that's what make a government. We champion the cause for transparency, for truth, for good governance. Not for people just to go in the corner and they're taking because they want please the audience, they want please opposition, they bring things on the table and they push it out to bring people without investigation. So I think it was wrong on the government part, and I'm so disappointed in the information minister, because I just see on class video there when he talking, like when he go there, everything will be perfect, everything will change. But today I'm disappointed in him telling the police that when he says anything, he can lose a job. I'm just the same thing you're preaching against doing George will redeem. That's the same thing about to do. Trying to take over that job, you got to speak the truth. So for me, Nelson, the whole thing. Let me conclude, Nelson. Let me conclude it. The whole thing, I can tell them about it, right? I'm not Unity Party man. I just come there to say what I want to say.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
I'm not UP.
Let's hold you there, guys. We are out of time, so let's take Josh, a 1 minute, Josh, and then we're gonna go to Vasco and then Chris.
Yeah, look, Nelson, thank you so much. One of the persons that I feel sorry for is Moba, because I know how passionate he is, and I know how he won this thing so bad.
How you say you sorry for Moba and he lay by, he put him on the cheat, sorry for with that. No, Moba, you gotta set up. You on the show. Don't say I'm sorry for we on the show that there's not a funeral service we have in here. Go ahead, Josh.
But Nelson, when somebody say they can use their hand, and fight a lion, and you believe them, you know the power of lion. You know what I mean? So it's something that when I look at my brother, I can feel sorry for him. But that's far from the matter. Here's what I want to say: the information minister said different thing. The how they call it, the foreign minister said different thing, and Nikot representative is saying different thing. Who is lying? The thing is, Nelson, we know that sophistication comes from education and sometimes experience, right? Most of the time, the two combined, education and experience, can bring about, being able to decipher, to be able to see two things. Like, for instance, in the Bible, they call it discernment, having the spirit of discernment. You look at something for long, you say, the thing, something ain't right. You know what I mean? To have that intelligence, to have that ability to figure out things, it comes with a lot of authority in people's hands. But here's the thing. Our president does not have that. Our president is the worst president ever in the history of Liberia. Here's the reason why. This president cannot make decisions. And the reason he cannot make decisions is because he does not know. He sits back, sleep in meetings, and people do things, and people just feel, oh, President Bouaka is this. No, President Bouaka on his own cannot do these things. And that's what the problem is, Nelson. The problem, no, Nelson, you caught him in too short, my man. Nelson, the problem is,
we actually out of time. I just got word from.
Okay, let me just finish. Let me just close up. The thing is that if President Bouaka will sit down and study things by himself and say, no, this is what we're going to do, like what President Weah could do, most of the time he would demand things to happen, and he goes and people go about doing that. President doesn't have that thing. So we'll see that Liberia will retrogress. We'll go behind instead of going in front. This 6 years is going to be a wasted 6 years for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Like what President George Weah used to do. Go find the money. Go find the money. Why you can find the money?
I want to roll down there. That park, we're building it there. We're building that park there. I don't care what you guys say. Go for the money and build the park.
Vasco, let's hear you quickly. Your 1 minute on this issue.
Thank you, Nelson. So, like I said, I'm a direct victim from the president. Okay, and this whole thing, I won't blame Sarah Beslow, information minister. I blame the president. The president is the main culprit for this entire scam. You know, when this kind of thing happens, you look for the person that want to pronounce it to the public. Because we saw this thing on the executive marshal website. President Baka to launch, or he is about to launch. So, General Nelson, you didn't do this service to us because you're supposed to play the president launching this program so that the Liberian people hear what he said to the people.
Thank you.
So that was the weight behind the whole program. The president launched it, then Ministry of Education put it on the page, Information Ministry put it on the page, all of them put it on the page. It's because the president said it, so people buy into it. So he's the more corporate. I need my money back.
So how much you invested?
I paid $265.
No, Vasco, come on, man.
I'm serious about it. I got my policy.
But then you try to do the whole process, because the people who are expected to apply for this thing are people who are in Liberia. How can you be in the US?
I pay for somebody. But
it's not you. But then Nikot does not know you. If you pay for somebody, is that person who's going to go and demand their money? Not you. You are a third party to the whole situation.
Listen, are you the lawyer?
No.
Listen, are you the lawyer?
But we have to make progress. Vasco,
so the president stole from me.
No.
The president of the Republic of Liberia stole from me.
Thank you. Let's hold you there and take Chris. Chris, take your 1 minute quickly. We're out of time.
Thank you. I will just summarize what I have here. First, the government, the government headed by President Walker needs to be serious. It's not a child play issue right now. The town hall meeting today, it wasn't necessary. This should have happened before the process gets started. So coming to the pressure from the public about Brennan to have a town hall meeting. It wasn't necessary. And the next thing is Jeremy Pierre, the information minister. He can lie. He lies too much. He one of those who make it a government to look okay like people ask. He lies. Just see men lies about the machine in our country on the media. Where's the machine today? This is Jeremy Pierre is on record on the bosses issue. He lies around the bosses issue. Where are the bosses today? They see Jeremy Pierre sat on spoon top a few days ago. When you explain about the scholarship issue, now they won't say that scholarship alone. So Jeremy Pierre is serious in Liberian society. He lies. And the next thing is that lady who was representing, I know Nikot whatsoever, she was very respectful to the journalists, and she was very respectful to the Liberian people, saying that nobody here has or economic plan or whatsoever. She was very respectful. You can't do that in our country. You can't do that in Ghana. She was very respectful. So my last closest statement will be the Liberian people, the students who pay their money, should take those people to court to pay their money back.
Thank you. But at the town hall engagement today, Nikot said that they will refund all the money for those who paid the $236. They will refund the money. That's what they said. But I want to appreciate everyone for being on tonight. We're going to expand on this conversation tomorrow.
Another scam.
We'll bring some of the guys on. Some of the guys who applied. I managed to have established contact with some of them. We'll bring them on. They will share their experiences as we get the conversation going on. But I want to say thanks to everyone for being here tonight. Thank you, Vasco. Smooth. Thank you, Chris. Thanks a lot to you, Josh. Anthony was here, and thanks to you, Mobati. We'll come back. I'm Nelson Colette. To our audience, we appreciate all of you for being here tonight. Sincere apologies that we couldn't take your calls because we're out of time tonight. Till we come back, have a good night or a good morning, depending on where you are. And bye-bye for now.
Good night.